Stop! These coins could be hidden treasure. Do not spend them. Check your pocket now, because what looks like ordinary Australian 50 cents could be hiding a silent fortune. Do not spend these coins. Urgent warning, 150 KUS. Nobody talks about these, but collectors are fighting over them in real auction shock moments. You could be losing life-changing money without even knowing it. Each coin in this video gets rarer, more dangerous to ignore, and more valuable. Stay with me because this might change everything. Coin number 1. There's something unsettling about this coin, not because it shines, but because it doesn't. The 1,973 Australian 50 cent with dark, almost dirty black spots on the reverse side is the exact kind of coin people ignore, toss aside, or spend without a second thought. And that's the danger. Because what looks damaged, what looks old, is exactly what collectors are quietly hunting. This is not fiction. This is where hidden wealth begins. 1973 wasn't just another year. It was a period where Australia was dealing with economic pressure, currency adjustments, and growing production demands in its minting system. Coins were being struck fast, under stress, with machinery pushed harder than usual. That pressure didn't just create coins, it created variations, textures, and surfaces that today are impossible to replicate. Most people miss this, but that pressure is exactly what gives this coin its silent fortune status. Now look closely at the design. On the obverse, you'll find the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, facing right, surrounded by the inscription, Elizabeth V in Australia, 1973. The lettering isn't just text, it's history stamped into metal. Flip it over, and the reverse reveals the iconic Australian coat of arms, the kangaroo and emu standing beside the shield, detailed and proud. But here's where things get interesting, the black spotting. That uneven dark toning is not damage, it's time frozen on metal. This coin is made from a copper-nickel alloy, giving it a solid, slightly cool feel in your hand. It weighs approximately 15.55 grams, with a diameter of 31.65 millimeters and a thickness that feels just heavy enough to notice. The girth, the edge, the balance, it all screams durability. But what makes this specific coin different is how those physical traits have aged. The toning, the darkness, the uneven surface, these are signals collectors obsess over. And here's the part that most people get wrong. They clean it. They see the black spots and think they're restoring value by removing them. That is the biggest mistake you can make. Cleaning this coin destroys its original toning forever. Once that surface is altered, the story is gone, and so is the value. Collectors don't want perfection. They want authenticity. They want untouched history. Never clean this coin. The black spots you see are often the result of natural oxidation, storage conditions, and metal reactions over decades. But not all spotting is equal. The pattern, the spread, the depth of color, these tiny details change everything. Some coins develop a unique look that collectors recognize instantly. That ugly surface, it becomes the exact fingerprint that makes one coin stand out from millions. Now think about survival. How many of these coins were spent, scratched, cleaned, or melted down over the years? Thousands, maybe millions. But very fine condition coins with original surfaces, those are rare. Extremely rare. And when you add this specific type of toning into the mix, the number drops even further. This is why collectors don't just want this coin. They compete for it. Auction rooms tell a story most people never see. Quiet tension. Sudden bids. People holding back, waiting for the perfect moment. And when a 1973 50 cent with this kind of natural toning appears, something shifts. Bidding becomes aggressive. Not loud, but intense. Because collectors know what they're looking at. They're not buying a coin, they're securing a piece of silent wealth. And here's what makes it even more powerful. Many collectors don't sell these coins once they get them. They hold. They wait. Because they understand something most people don't. Supply is shrinking, but demand is rising. Every year, fewer of these coins remain in original condition. Every year, more collectors enter the market. That imbalance creates serious money. If you're holding one of these coins right now, stop. Look at the reverse. Check for those black spots. Feel the weight. Notice the texture. This is where patience creates wealth. Don't rush. Don't clean it. And most importantly, Get it professionally graded. Authentication and grading can be the difference between a coin being ignored or recognized as a life-changing opportunity. Because today, coins like this, yes, even without errors, have reached auction levels around $150 zeroth. Let that sink in. A coin people spend every day, turning into a hidden fortune. And the scariest part? People are still spending them. Every single day. Do not spend this coin. Because what comes next is even more shocking. The next coin doesn't just hide value, it hides a level of rarity that most collectors will never even see in their lifetime, and missing it could cost you everything. Next up, you've probably seen this coin, maybe even ignored it. The 2004 Australian 50 cent with the fauna design, Lorikeet Koala and Wombat, looks playful, almost harmless. But that's exactly why it's dangerous. Because while people treat it like pocket change, collectors see something completely different. They see a silent fortune hiding behind those tiny animal details. And once you understand what's really going on with this coin, you'll never look at your change the same way again. 2004 was not just another year for Australia, it was a time when commemorative coin programs were expanding, celebrating national identity, wildlife, and cultural pride. But here's what most people don't realize. Increased demand for themed coins meant the mint was under pressure to produce large volumes quickly while still maintaining intricate designs. That balance between speed and detail created subtle inconsistencies, tiny variations that today drive collectors into obsession. This is where hidden wealth starts forming. Now take a closer look at the design itself. On the obverse, you still have Queen Elizabeth II facing right, with the inscription, Elizabeth II Australia 2004. It looks standard at first glance. But flip it over and everything changes. The reverse bursts into life with Australia's fauna. A vibrant lorikeet perched with delicate feather detail, a calm koala gripping a branch, and a grounded wombat below. It's not just a design, it's a story carved into metal. And every tiny line matters. This coin is struck in copper nickel, giving it that familiar silver tone, but over time, coins like this develop unique surface textures. It weighs about 15.55 grams, with a diameter of 31.65 millimeters and a solid thickness that feels unmistakable in your hand. The girth, the edge, the balance, it all feels ordinary. And that's the trap. Because hidden inside that ordinary feel is a rare survival story that most people completely overlook. Here's where things get serious. Very fine condition coins from 2004 with original surfaces are not as common as people think. Why? Because these coins were heavily circulated. Kids collected them, people spent them, machines scratched them, and many were cleaned by mistake. So when a coin survives with natural toning, light wear, and those original design details still sharp, it becomes something collectors chase aggressively. This is not fiction. And then there's the surface. Some of these coins develop subtle toning, slight dark patches, faint discoloration, or uneven shine across the fauna design. Most people think it's damage. They try to clean it off. That is the worst possible move. Cleaning this coin destroys its original character forever. Once that natural surface is gone, the collector interest drops instantly. Original toning matters more than shine. Always remember that. Look closely at the lorikeet's feathers. Are the lines still visible? Check the koala's fur. Can you see the texture, or is it worn flat? The wombat's outline. Does it still stand strong, or has it faded into the background? These tiny details are what collectors fixate on. This is the level of attention that turns a simple coin into serious money. Most people miss this, but this detail changes everything. Now imagine the journey of this coin. Minted under pressure, released into circulation, passed through thousands of hands, dropped, scratched, forgotten. And yet somehow a few survived in very fine condition. Not perfect, but real. Authentic, untouched by cleanings or damage. That survival alone creates rarity. And rarity creates demand. Quiet, intense demand that you won't see unless you step into the collector world. Auction behavior around coins like this is fascinating. It's not loud. It's not flashy. It's calculated. Collectors watch, wait, and strike at the right moment. And when a 2004 Fauna 50 cent appears with strong detail and original toning, something shifts. Bids come in fast. Not because it looks rare, but because they know it is. They understand what others don't. And here's the truth most people aren't ready to hear. Collectors are not letting these go easily. Once they secure a coin like this, they hold it. They store it carefully. They wait. Because every year, fewer of these coins remain in collectible condition. Every year, more people start searching. That gap between supply and demand keeps growing, and that's where silent fortunes are built. If you have one of these coins right now, stop everything. Do not spend this coin. Check the reverse carefully. Look for the clarity in the fauna design. Feel the weight, the edge, the texture. This is where patience matters. Rushing, cleaning, or ignoring this coin could cost you more than you realize. Professional grading is critical here. It confirms authenticity, condition, and unlocks its true potential. Because today, coins like this have reached auction levels around $125,000, even without errors or extreme rarity. Let that sink in. A coin that looks playful, holding life-changing value, and people are still spending them every single day without a second thought. Never clean it. Protect its original surface. Get it evaluated properly. And most importantly, recognize what you're holding before it's too late. Because the next coin is on another level entirely. It's rarer, more intense, and the kind of discovery that turns ordinary people into overnight success stories. Miss it, and you might never get another chance. Next up, there's a reason this coin feels different the moment you see it. And it's not because it's shiny, it's because it carries history most people don't even notice. The 1,970 Australian 50 cent, marking the 200th anniversary of Captain Cook's voyage, looks like just another commemorative piece. But the second you spot those dark, almost bean-like marks on the reverse, you're looking at something collectors quietly chase. This is not just a coin, it's a silent warning. 1,970 was a powerful year for Australia. It marked 200 years since Captain James Cook's voyage along the East Coast, an event that reshaped the nation's identity forever. To honor that moment, the Royal Australian Mint pushed out commemorative coins at scale. But here's the truth. When demand surges and production speeds up, perfection drops. Minting pressure increases. Dies wear faster. Surfaces change. And that's exactly where rare variations begin to form. On the obverse, you'll see Queen Elizabeth II facing right with the inscription, Elizabeth II Australia, 1970. It's clean, formal, almost predictable. But flip it over and suddenly the entire story shifts. The reverse shows Captain Cook's ship, the HMS Endeavour, sailing with purpose, surrounded by the inscription, 200th anniversary Cook's Australian voyage. The detail is deep, textured, and full of motion. But then, those dark black beans appear. These black bean-like spots aren't random damage. They are the result of natural chemical reactions, storage environments, and the metal's aging process. And here's what most people get wrong. They try to remove them. They think they're fixing the coin. In reality, they're destroying the very feature that makes it rare. Those dark spots are part of its identity. They prove originality. They tell collectors this coin has not been tampered with. Never clean this coin. The coin itself is struck in copper nickel, giving it a strong, durable structure. It weighs approximately 15.55 grams, with a diameter of 31.65 millimeters and a thickness that feels solid and balanced. The girth is wide, the edges are reeded, and the overall feel is unmistakable. But in almost uncirculated condition, something special happens. The details remain sharp, the design stays bold, and the surface tells a story without being worn away. Now think about survival. This coin was released into everyday circulation. It passed through countless hands, machines, and pockets. Most were scratched, cleaned, or heavily worn, but a small number survived in almost uncirculated condition, with those black bean spots still intact. That combination is extremely rare. Because not only did the coin survive, it survived without interference. That's what collectors crave. Look closely at the ship. Can you still see the rigging lines, the sails, the water beneath it? These details matter more than you think. Collectors don't just glance at this coin, they study it. They examine every inch of the surface, every mark, every shadow. The black bean spots, especially when naturally formed and well-positioned, become a signature feature. This is where obsession begins. Auction rooms tell a quiet but intense story when this coin appears. There's no shouting, no chaos, just calculated moves. Collectors know what they're seeing. And when a 1970 Cook anniversary coin shows up in almost uncirculated condition with original toning and those distinctive dark spots, bidding becomes aggressive. Not emotional, strategic. Because they understand that opportunities like this don't come often. And once these coins are acquired, they disappear. Collectors hold them. They store them in controlled environments. They wait. Because they know supply is shrinking every year. Coins get lost, damaged, or altered. But demand, it keeps rising. More collectors enter the market. More eyes start searching. And fewer coins remain untouched. That imbalance is where serious money lives. If you have this coin, you need to act carefully. Do not spend this coin. Check the reverse immediately. Look for those black bean-like spots. Feel the weight. Examine the detail. This is not something you rush. This is where patience builds hidden wealth. And if you're serious about protecting its value, professional grading is critical. It confirms everything: condition, authenticity, and market positioning. Because today, coins like this have reached auction levels around $163,000, even without rare mint errors. Let that sink in. A coin that people once spent without thinking, now holding life-changing value. And the scariest part? People are still spending them today, completely unaware of what they're losing. Never clean it. Never ignore it. Protect its original surface at all costs. Because this wasn't just the final coin, it was the warning. Hidden treasures are still out there, moving through everyday hands. And if you're not paying attention, you might already be holding a fortune and letting it slip away.